Having been an artist, being a former artist, I don't even like to say former, just being an artist, because I think you always have that in you. It's helped me because unlike my peers, almost all of them, I have been where the artist has been. Even now, you fast forward, 20 something years to the digital age, it's still the same grind. So knowing that, in the beginning it's just you and your demos, and then it's all the fanfare and the hype when you get signed, and then it's cold for a minute until you get a hit. And then going on the road and promo touring and staying up late and getting up early. I've done all those things. So having the perspective of an artist, and it's funny, I really, not until probably the last 2 or 3 years, and not by my own volition, by the way. I never want to be perceived as that guy, oh, he used to be an artist and he's, blah, blah, blah. I just put in my bag of tricks on my resume and, every now and then you whip it out. And as I've gotten longer in my career and starting to run into people over and over and over again, some from my past who've matriculated into the business, it's become kind of a talking point. Like, oh, he used to be a rapper, right? And then that becomes a big thing. And so then the artists kind of look at me and, okay, so you kind of know what's going on a little bit. So it's helped me because I think it gives me a perspective with the artists where they can look me in the eye and know that there's some integrity there, because there's a perception, which I still don't know, and all artists, you should listen to this. What we do on the executive side, on the label side, we do this for you. We're an investment bank. This is your dream. This is your career. This is something you wanted to do. You sought the label out. We didn't come to your house and knock on the door. Hey, you want to be a singer? That's not how it goes down. Artistry is something that you want to share with the world, and the label's there to help you fulfill your dreams. Being able to talk to them from a perspective of, this isn't for whatever label I'm working for. This is really about you, and you get out of it what you put in it. And then from an executive standpoint, saying, listen, dude, I get up before you, I go to bed after you. There's nothing that you're doing that I'm not doing with you, or my team's not doing with you, or somebody else from another department isn't doing with you. And just giving them that perspective, add on the fact that I was an artist and somewhat successful artist, then they look at me a little bit differently. When you talk about the difference between hip hop, urban rap labels versus rock and alternative labels, and you look at, the bigger distributors, whether it be Sony Red or ADA or Caroline, it's about infrastructure, and it's about business acumen, and it's about people knowing how to run a business. A lot of, you hear the term all the time, homeboy management. When you talk about, you and I having a record label, it's me and you. You the rapper, I'm the DJ. And by day, you're an accountant, and I throw newspapers or whatever it is. And, definitely a lot of us hustle street money, so there's nobody who really knows. These companies on the pop side, some of them are trust fund kids, no disrespect. I wish I was a trust fund kid. It's not a bad life. But cats who, for whatever reason, whatever the introduction to it, the entrepreneurial spirit and attitude, I won't even be disrespectful and say was not out of lack of necessity, because a lot of those cats have the same kind of struggles we have in the urban community. I wouldn't say, just from my experience as much. It's a business to them. These cats sleep 10 to a house, and one guy drives the van, and one guy learns how to do digital editing, and another guy is a sound engineer, and one guy plays 3 instruments. With us, it's the rapper, the money guy, and then 20 people with no job. And it's unfortunate, but listen, I'm not, Google it, check it out. I'm not telling you something you don't already know. But it's a lack of professionalism and a lack of seriousness about the business. And also because I think our culture has always been about shining, so to speak, everybody having, playing a professional role or playing the role of being the guy that nobody wants to take it from ground zero. Like, I slept in an apartment with 8 guys where I was one of the producers on the record, the lead writer, the lead rapper, and I had a day job. Like, who's doing that? And when you look at black and brown people specifically, there are a couple, but they're not a lot. Versus go to the alternative and rock side, it's 18 of them and what they call the conversion van. And they got the trailer to the hitch on the back with all the equipment. They're sleeping in the van and they get one hotel room and they all shower. Like, that doesn't exist in hip hop by and large. Now you look at a Wiz Khalifa or a Chance the Rapper, or even most recently a Kevin Gates, and those guys are starting to come, but those are 1 out of 1,000. Versus when you flip it to the other side, it's 1,001. So I just think that it's a lack of coaching. People just don't know. You sit here, you talk to me, And forget the fact that I've been doing this business since I was a teenager, making money at it. I've been a professional since I was, in my early 20s. You don't want to hear that from me. And I'm not trying to give you the story of walking up the hill both ways in the snow. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is if you look at anybody who's successful on any level, in any business, but specifically in entertainment, the path is almost identical. And sometimes you reach your zenith a little sooner than later. I think I got into the game a little too early, because if I'd have started 5 years later, who knows where I'd be. But I'm in a different place and I'm happy about it. But I just think that grind is different. Even like on the executive side, trying to find a kid who will come to the office and work for free, dude, that doesn't happen. What's in it for me? They can't even endure good before they ask you for CDs and tickets, just for the love of the game.
When Little John and all the down south guys were using their regional influence on labels, and all those labels were like, damn, why would I pay X amount of dollars for all these samples? This dude here sold gold in his neighborhood, punching 2 notes on a Triton with no samples. As a businessman, I gotta look at that.
You thinking you helping their dream work is gonna help your dream as well, man. And the fucking moment was just like, hey man, swallow your pride, take that energy, and you help create a blueprint. Do that for yourself, man.
We're in a male-dominated industry and we think that we're the enemy, and that's stupid. And so I started this event to bring all these women together that feel like they're so different and show them that they're not. And so they can network, understand that relationships do matter, and it's not just relationships with men, it's relationships with other women also.
For us, the accolades and the recognition came naturally. It was never, our radio show was never a platform to get someplace else. It was the end result. It's what we wanted. We didn't have any ambitions for the show other than, like Bob always says, other than to have an incredible tape the next day.